All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome back. Phil Nagy and Kit Nagy joining you. Nagy on Sports with more simmed Browns action. There, of course, is Deshaun Watson. Struggled a little bit in his Browns debut last week, hoping to have some improved play out of him as well. Of course, the Buffalo Bills are in town, which is never an easy task as they continue to just get better, it seems. Of course, bringing over Von Miller, Jamison Crowder in the slot. And as you'll see here, got a couple of pretty nice draft picks as well for their roster. So let's bring in the other half of the broadcast team. Kid, how are we doing this morning?
Doing great. Excited to be here. Obviously, you mentioned the debut of Deshaun not going the way we had expected, and we managed to find an update to our sliders, which we hope will bring a little bit more realism to this, and hopefully Deshaun will be a little bit more of a scrambling quarterback like we expect instead of taking those statue sacks and some other things. So excited about that and excited to get this one going against a very stacked Bills roster. As you mentioned, they are very good.
Browns 4-2-1 at this point in the sim season. The Bills are just 3-5, so they've had a little bit of a struggle. Not sure if they've had any injuries or anything. I can't say that I've been particularly watching, but I can tell you that they are 3-5. So kicking off, it will still be Cameron Dicker. Again, maybe some of you saw that we did re-sign Chase McLaughlin officially just a couple of hours ago. I don't think either Kid or I feel really good about him being the day one kicker. I still think that a rookie, potentially either a late draft pick or an undrafted rookie free agent, still makes the most sense. So we're going to stick with the one that we took undrafted in Cameron Dicker, the rookie out of Texas. So actually, this is already week 9, Earl, and we had our bye in week 7. So welcome in, Nick. Welcome in, Karen, as well. Oh, Nick, it's Soldier Girl. Hello, Nick, with another name, Soldier. Yes, so this is actually week 9 already. So, all right, 2nd and 10. Josh Allen, he's going to change things. That sends Miles out to cover the fullback. This is some weird audibles been happening recently, haven't there?
Very odd.
Pressure coming from JOK. It's a wobbler, and it's picked off! It's Delpit at the 45, up to the 30, breaks a tackle. 20, first down, Browns at the 21. Grant Delpit takes advantage of the wobbler.
Yeah, that was a sweet play there really started with the pressure on Allen.
JOK.
Yeah, JOK right in his face, and Allen really not able to get off a clean throw. As a result, he threw up some easy pickings for Delpit. Delpit's going to come down with that every time, and we see the results. Great start for this defense.
Absolutely. I want to say 4-4, Soldier. I think the Ravens are 4-4 so far in this sim season. A little drag across the middle to Cooper, and he'll fight for an extra yard. Sets up a 2nd and 1. Deshaun under center. Had some feedback via our Twitter page, which is also at Nagy on Sports, about potentially tweaking the playbook a little bit to be more Deshaun Watson friendly. And frankly, I don't really know a lot about what that means, but this user was very nice to be able to help me. Here's Chubb with a big hole to the right side to the 5 to the 3, and he'll go down. So we've added more shotgun sets. We've added a pistol formation, and we took out some of the straight I formation stuff.
Well, I know he's known for his RPO.
I added a bunch of RPOs back in. So we'll see how that goes. Turn around, give it to Chubb. Oh, sit down, Edmonds. He's going to left forearm shiver him, and he's down at the 1-inch line. 3rd and goal.
Surprised they didn't call that over the plane. That was very, very close. I guess they're saying his knee was down before he stretched out, but man, it was close. And
absolutely, it was.
Earl, I think we do keep Ward. I think they're going to extend him. I mean, AB is known for doing that midseason. So I would not be surprised to see that.
Broken tackle and a touchdown. So Von Miller meets him in the backfield, and Nick Chubb says, "I don't care," and goes right in. So rewarding the Browns defense. Grant Delpit's interception sets the Browns up at the 20, and they punch it in 4 days later. Soldier, I appreciate that sentiment. We have been looking at potentially doing something for MLB The Show, especially when it looked like baseball wasn't going to happen. So stay tuned for that. It's certainly not going to be every single game, and it's certainly not going to have live commentary every single game. I would just have no life if that was the case. But we experimented with some other stuff, before, as you saw on the channel, and may get back into some of those things as well. But we appreciate you thinking fondly about us. So 7-0, quick start to the game, which is great here And Josh Allen again 0 for 1, and that singular interception that he threw on that dropback. The funny thing about that, we had just been commenting, they did a weird shift. It took Myles Garrett out into coverage and brought JOK up to the pass rushing end.
Yep.
And he whipped the left tackle and caused that interception for sure.
Did.
Here's Allen, floats a big one over the middle, double coverage, and a nice play by JJ3. Diggs went up high, could not bring it down.
Yes, Earl, there is a chance that'll happen. It's just, it's going to depend on what the market is like for him. They have the cap space and flexibility to be able to keep him on the books if they need to. Now, I don't mean to say that expect him to be the backup. I think Jacoby Brissett is pretty much that guy.
Yeah.
So, it's very possible he stays on the roster, but unlikely he plays.
Allen's going to take off to the right side. Leal just misses him on a dive, 7 yards and a first down for the Buffalo quarterback.
Soldier, I agree. I think the Steelers do finish last this year in the AFC North.
Yeah, let's play a little game of what do you think about this list? Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, Mitch Trubisky. I think that's probably all that needs to be said.
That's right.
Hey, James, welcome back. It's been a while. We have not done the Panthers game yet, to my knowledge. I don't remember the Panthers game happening yet.
No, we have not played a Panthers game that I recall either.
Hey, 504, welcome in. Little trips look to the right side. Option keeper, Allen's got it. Can he get the corner? He can, and he'll fall forward. Troy Hill met him, but Josh Allen, all 6'5" of them, able to kind of fall forward to achieve the first down.
Yeah, the pursuit a little bit late to get there. If they were there just a tad sooner, then that point of contact was just where it needed to be. But the rest of the defense not able there to prevent Allen from falling forward. You get just even one more player, potentially you can break that forward momentum and stop him from gaining that first down.
All right, here's another weird shift. It's going to take Myles out in coverage of the fullback. Browns end up rushing 5. Little pressure up the middle. He dumps it off 2. The running back out of the backfield is Devin Singletary, and he picks up a few yards. Duke Johnson signed with the Buffalo Bills as well. I think he's like the third stringer, so we likely will not see him. Here's some boot action from Allen. Throws on the run. He's got his man across the middle. That's the tight end, Tommy Sweeney, I believe, the third tight end. Or excuse me, Dawson Knox, my bad. The first tight end. They also, of course, signed O.J. Howard. Yes, 2 days ago. We did that one on Sunday night. Soldier. Good little slow motion look there. Gets the shoulders turned. Makes a complete pass. Now first down for the Bills inside the Browns 30.
Hey, George. Welcome.
Up the middle again. This time Anthony Walker donning number 5. Somebody on the channel had updated me that he's going to be wearing number 5. I appreciate that. So we got that one changed. I actually went back and checked their roster just before we started, and a couple of guys have been passed out numbers, like Jakeem Grant is going to be number 9, so I need to make sure that I change that on the sim as well as we try to stay realistic with it. Right now, number 9 is our newly signed punter, Corey Bojorquez. Josh Allen, he'll leave the pocket to the left of the 30 to the 27, and a nice play by JOK to chase him down and limit the damage to 2 yards. Third and 8, a draw up the middle. Oh, a broken tackle and a first down run. Zach Moss. Browns really blew an opportunity to get the defense off the field there.
Yeah, that was absolutely an opportunity you wanted to come up with if your defense had such a good showing on their first one. This one, Bills are a lot more methodical with the ball here, kind of just, positive plays down the field. And the Browns defense need a little spark here.
Absolutely. I mean, I've seen some of those edits and some of those kind of memes going around. I wouldn't feel great about it if Baker ends up in Pittsburgh.
No, that would be a bit of a...
It can only end badly for us, right? Either we win and we do what we're supposed to do, or somehow he torches us and we'll just have to hear about it.
Right. Well, and also Baker, as a guy that I like to root for a variety of reasons, that would put me in I think both of us actually, in an awkward position where you want to root for him, but you can't because he's a Steeler. I mean, it's kind of like the Joe Hayden. I mean, I still like Joe Hayden, but It's one of those, like, he's at the same time he's a Steeler. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, big 3rd and goal here, up to the 1-yard line. Can the Browns get a stop? Allen, hard count, nobody moves, turn around. Give it to Singletary, he's going to go down. JOK meets him in the backfield.
And what a game.
And the Browns hold.
Yeah, what a game he's been putting together so far. He's been all over the field, tackles left and right, and really at all the depths of the defense here. He's just playing so smart and so fast. Quick reads, quickly to make tackles, and just excellent play from your dynamo linebacker.
Yeah, your steal of a 2nd-round pick.
That's right.
Still just grand larceny from Andrew Berry and company. All right, Tyler Bass's kick is up, and it's good. 7-3 now. Let's see what the Browns can do with a more full field length possession. Remember, their first touchdown came after Grant Delpit intercepted Josh Allen and took it down to the 21-yard line. So now from the 20, here comes Deshaun Watson and the Browns offense with a 7-3 lead.
So, Juan, I don't think that's very likely for a number of reasons. One, I think, there's some bridges have been burned in that process on either side. So it's not very likely that they're going to work together for a contract. And then also because they don't expect, even if they keep him on the books, they're not going to play him. At his current contract or any other contract, so he's not going to be viewed as the backup quarterback. So it wouldn't make a lot of sense to bring him around for a 1-year deal that way either.
Absolutely. Browns pounding the ground game, which I'm kind of excited to see. Another run here for Chubb, gets another 3 yards, sets up a 2nd and 7. Have 3 consecutive run plays, all for 4+ yards. That's a nice thing to have. Here's a give up the middle. This time it's Kareem Hunt. Tries to break a tackle. Matt Milano, the linebacker, scrapes over to bring him down. Sets up a 3rd and 5 for the Browns. Deshaun climbs under the center, and he wasn't even there yet. And Wills and Harris decided to try to get an early start. So that's going to back him up 5.
Yeah, don't like that.
And
don't like that at all.
Yes, Soldier, I do live in Columbus, and I didn't choose the Browns. The Browns chose me. We were both born into it willingly. Both of our dads grew up in Cleveland.
That's right.
We have lots of memories of going, and that's who our dads rooted for, so that's who usually you root for, and then took over, and the fandom became our own. So, yeah, I'm not sure how many people willingly choose the Browns.
No.
Especially for the last 20 or so years, as they are not able to convert here on a 3rd and 10. Now, of course, Kit and I were still alive and remembered. Although we were fairly young, we were still alive during the drive and the fumble, and
yep.
I have like a VHS tape of like the drive, the fumble, and I used to watch it all the time about like how great those seasons were, and then how just heartbreaking the ends of them were too. John Elway.
Yeah, I still remember my very first ever football game I ever attended in person was a Browns-Chargers game in the old Municipal Stadium, going with Phil's dad and then also our grandfather, and we actually I think you might have been there as well.
I may have, yeah.
Yeah, but we all went to that game, and oh man, I just remember being enthralled by not only what NFL football was. I was young and impressionable at the time, but also just the Browns, and brought into the fold, if you will, into the family. I had already been a fan, but like being there in person for that game, that just really lit the fire, if you will.
Absolutely. So, Soldier, you live in Pittsburgh but root for Baltimore? Yeah, James, there's more than just your dad and your brother. There's a whole generation of Browns fans. And then for another generation, more like Kit and I's generation of Brown fans, like, sure, we were alive, but we weren't like actively rooting for football as 4 and 5 and 6-year-olds. For us, it's definitely the move, all the stuff in the mid-90s with Modell, and it was during our seminal years as youngsters. So that one still, I definitely list Art Modell on my 3 most hated human beings in the history of the world. Hitler, Art Modell. 3rd and 11 here. Let's see if the Browns can get off the field. Little swing pass. Great tackle in space. Greedy. Let's go. That should end the first quarter here.
Gotta like that.
You want to move to Maryland? Okay, you could be a fan from anywhere. I was just curious.
So, Earl, to go back in the conversation, I think we missed this comment, but in terms of Watson being an upgrade over Baker, I think, partly, we'll see. We'll see what happens on the field. You can't judge a team's chemistry until they're out there playing and have had some time to settle into it. So, maybe not even right away. But I think there's certainly a lot of upside to be had there, and Watson certainly, back when he was playing, was considered a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. I mean, look what he did with a terrible Houston roster.
Yes. He led the league in passing.
Yeah, in 2022, he led the league in passing and was second in completion percentage in 2020. So he's a very, very good quarterback. Don't discount that. And I think if the Browns are able to adapt their scheme and their offense to what he does well, which I think they will work very hard to do, and if they continue to build this roster the right way, I think this team could be very good with Deshaun Watson at the helm.
All right, well, 3 and out there. Unfortunately, had a really nice pass there on 2nd and down to Harrison Bryant on a levels concept, and Bryant just dropped the football, unfortunately. Borges, the lefty back there. And again, he's got an 82-yard punt on his resume, does Corey Borges. And he's left-footed. There you go.
Yeah, the Broncos are going to be a rough matchup. The AFC, part of the AFC North arms race, and really one of the early dominoes to go being that move at the quarterback position for them with Russell Wilson coming over from Seattle. So they are a big contender in the AFC, along with a number of other teams. Obviously, I think there's about 13 teams that are going for 7 playoff spots.
Allen goes high over the top, missed his receiver there.
And I think they all think they can make it. So obviously only 7 of them can. And of those 13, I think 8 of them think they're Super Bowl contenders.
3rd and 11, dump it off, dropped again. So one thing I will notice about Matt 10 sliders is the QB catching, or the wide receiver catching one, came way, way down from his other one. So we've already seen a couple of drops here.
Yeah.
From one from each side. So, all right, here we go. Let's get going here. Watson just 1 of 5. Again, 2 of those are throwaways, and a 3rd one was a drop. The second one, or the last one you saw, he just kind of threw it away as he got kind of tapped from the back by Von Miller. Motion coming from Cooper. Stanton in front of Chubb. They give it to Chubb. He's going to try the inside, and he's going to pick up about 2 yards before Teron Johnson and Micah Hyde meet him in the backfield. Bills in the draft, our virtual draft. Ended up with Devin Wyatt, the defensive tackle out of Georgia. They also have Quay Walker, one of the linebackers out of Georgia. Jalen Petrie, a cornerback out of Baylor. And Jalen Pulbert as well, one of the receivers kind of rising up some draft boards late here. All right, on the 3rd and 10, back to pass Watson. Pressure is taken care of. A little jig. He's got some room to work, and he's gonna fight his way over the line. How about that effort from Amari Cooper? First down, Browns.
Yeah, that's one of the things he brings to this team is that very physical wide receiver, which he just showed right there, along with DPJ. Those two can really get it done from a physical standpoint, and love the effort to get this first down. But to answer your question there, Earl, I think there's a very good chance Clowney comes back. I think the reporting shows that they offered him a 2-year deal from what we understand. Which is something he's looking for. I think he wants a little bit longer than even 2 years, but that's certainly better than the 1-year single team contracts he's been mostly receiving. In for several years now. So the fact that the Browns are willing to give him 2 years, I think he was very, very happy. Opposite, obviously, his production showed it, but opposite Myles Garrett, that was very good for him. So I think there's a good chance he'll come back. I think the Browns have a full court press on him to bring him back. So I think there's a good possibility of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 2nd and 7. We saw a defensive pass interference. Haven't seen one of those in a while in the sim as well. That was the rookie Jalen Petrie right on cue. Giving the Browns first down. Nick Chubb got 3 on first down. Here is 2nd and 7. They're going to stretch it to the right side to Chubb. Just way too many white jerseys over there. And Chubb will actually lose a couple and get back to the original line of scrimmage. Sets up a 3rd and 9 here for the Browns. Watson steps back into a shotgun. Kareem Hunt on his right hip. Looks like Cooper in the slot on the left side. Back to pass, Watson. Pressure is taken care of. He floats it to the left side. He's got a wide open receiver. It's Peoples-Jones. First down, Browns to the 47. Again, the one small plus side of having to trade away Garrett Wilson, because it was only fair. Donovan Peoples-Jones does slide into receiver spot number 2 now, so definitely going to see some more of him. Here comes Kareem up the middle, and Tremaine Edmonds waits for him and brings him to the turf. They're going to say no gain on that one.
Yeah, Savage, I mean, again, we'll see what happens on the field, but I would be surprised if Amari Cooper is not a very productive receiver for these Browns.
Oof. On a Njoku drop. I've already seen a couple of drops, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Pressure coming up his face. He throws it. It's a wobbler into traffic, and Peoples-Jones can't quite bring it in. Good play there, Ed Oliver, right up the middle. Their first-round pick from a couple years ago, and the Browns will have to settle for a punt here from about midfield. Bojorquez angles this thing out. It's beelining for the pylon, and they're going to say it went out in the end zone. Touchback, unfortunately.
Yeah, very close, but unfortunately on the wrong side of the pylon there.
Again, I did see Bojorquez will be wearing number 13, so I'll make sure I fix that for the next game, as Jakeem Grant Sr. will be number 9.
Yeah, I'm really hoping he keeps up his trend, because I'd love to see some touchdowns in the return game. That's something the Browns have been missing. I think it's been since 2009.
Yeah, it's been
a long time. Been a long
since
time.
Josh Cribbs or Travis Benjamin, maybe.
Yeah, Travis Benjamin had the last punt return touchdown. The last kickoff return touchdown was Cribbs.
Initial returns, it does sort of overall, I think, is kind of cleaned up a little bit of the gameplay. I think the running game's been noticeably a little bit better. There have been a few drops, and again, it's not just like, oh, let's just turn that one up. Like, they're also interrelated, which is just the deep science of Madden sliders.
Yep.
Because it's like you can't just do one thing, because then you got to do something else, then you got to do something else, and it's pretty wild. So that's why we trust people who spend their entire gaming stuff figuring them out. So, and
we hope they continue to do so, because they seem to care about the reality as much as we do, but we don't have the time or the wherewithal to try to figure all of that out.
And my brain is not nearly disciplined or analytical enough to be like, okay, I'm going to move this up from 25 to 26 and now watch 10 hours of gameplay. Okay, and now from 26 to 27 and then watch 6 hours of gameplay, the kind of a thing.
Right.
2nd and 8 now. Josh Allen, turn around, give it up the middle, immediately ripped down to Marvin Leal. Right there, Johnny on the spot, sets up another 3rd and long for the Browns defense.
And how good has he been, the rookie?
Really
He's been just so stalwart in the middle of that D-line. Such a good draft choice there, and obviously I'd love to see him on the Browns, and I'd love to have him have that kind of production as we've seen in the sim, because that would be awesome.
Allen deep to the right side, single coverage, one-handed catch.
Well, he didn't drop that one.
Oh, what a throw and a catch there. That's Isaiah McKenzie, and a first down for the Bills. Wow.
Yep. Did not drop that one. That was a very nice catch.
Yeah, all the drops, and then that one gets caught. So, who knows? It is hard to cover that one, George. You're right. That was a really nice. I mean, Josh Allen's a superstar. I mean, he's one of the best in the business.
Yep,
for sure. He can make that throw.
Put it where only his receiver could catch the ball. Had to go with one hand to catch it, but still, that's the perfect spot to drop that ball in.
There's Chase Winovich, number 69, right there. Nice play, getting Singletary in the backfield. A couple of yard loss on the play. So
And if you didn't see the interview with Winovich, he is so excited to be a Brown, and for him it's a family lifestyle thing because he's halfway between his family in Toledo and in Pittsburgh. So it's a great deal for him. Obviously, he knows how rabid the fan base is, and I think he's very, very excited to be a Brown. Which, of course, I think that will only help. When you're where you want to be in terms of teams, especially when it's a trade, you didn't have any choice. In the matter of that, I think that's a big advantage in terms of how you play and how you fit into a team culture.
Wanting to be here is a nice change for Browns fans.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
1st and 10, they're going to empty it out 5 wide. Josh Allen back to pass. Winovich bull rush, and he's going to get a sack right on cue for you there, Kit. Chase Winovich.
Love it. And that's actually what he's known for right there is his just relentless motor. He's kind of a direct one-for-one replacement for Tack McKinley that we saw last season. And, if he can get those kind of numbers where he's, in that 4, 5, 6 sack range, he's going to be a very dynamic weapon as a number 3 pass rusher.
Absolutely. Here's Allen. He's rolling left on a 2nd and 19. Fires back across dangerously into traffic, and it's going to fall to the turf as Denzel was all over Stephon Diggs on that one. That's going to set up a big 3rd and long. Back to pass. Allen floats it right side. Caught, toes down, but he's short of the line to gain. A 4th and 2. Let's see if they opt to go for it or take the 3.
Yeah, an interesting choice here. Obviously, and they're going to go for it because the 3 does not give you the lead going into half.
They're going to go for the 3 here. 4th and 2. Up the middle. Big hole for Singletary. Touchdown, Bills. They spread them out and run it up the middle. And the Browns are exposed and go down here by 2, pending 3 points. Hey, Chris, welcome in. He is not technically on the roster. He's just sitting in the free agent pool for right now because we have to keep rosters at 53 since we're in season. No, we're not going to waste a roster spot for any third-string quarterback. So it's just Brissett and Wasson on the team for right now. Now, James, when you say that, are you assuming that Tom stays in Tampa? Doesn't he want to go to Miami and play with Waddle and Hill and the fastest show on earth or whatever they're going to call themselves?
Well, if that's the case, that would certainly negate what happened with the whole Bruce Arians stepping down.
Right. I mean, you have to. Yeah, you feel like you have to. That would have had to have been known. But yeah, I thought I saw things that he was trying to get himself to Miami.
Well, no, I mean, if that's the case, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Tom to want that. I'm just saying that that the whole point of Bruce Arians stepping down supposedly was that he was setting up his guy to be in a position, Todd Bowles that is, to be in a position to take over a team. In a position to have immediate success and win a Super Bowl, and he only knew that once Tom Brady came back from retirement.
Right.
So,
for sure.
So if Tom Brady then turns around and says, "No, let me thumb my nose at you in that plan, and I'm going to go over to play for Miami," that would be a huge blow to that whole idea. I mean, then Arians stepped down for nothing, and there is rumor that I have no idea what the truth of this is because obviously even the team is saying it would be a surprise to them, but there's rumor that behind closed doors those two being Tom Brady and Arians butted heads a lot and did not see eye to eye, so there might have been a lot of stick in the eye type stuff coming out of this. And may have had something to do with Arians stepping down as well. So we'll see.
Absolutely. Here's a 3rd and 8. Blitz coming. They pick it up. Watson right side to Njoku, and he's going to be just short, unfortunately. A 4th and 2. Come on, Kevin, go for it.
But you're right, Earl. I agree. If he wants to win a Super Bowl, going to the AFC is probably not the path.
That's a very good point, especially right now. Yeah, that's a very good point. The NFC is getting easier by the day, it feels like.
Yep, whereas the AFC is just in this massive arms race, and it's you can have a absolutely stacked roster and not make the playoffs because there are going to be teams, because just by pure numbers, there will be teams with stacked rosters that are not going to make playoffs, in the playoffs at all, and that's absolutely wild. I mean, you could see some teams that have, elite quarterbacks that are sitting on the sideline watching it all happen.
Nice punt there by Bojorquez. Inside the 2-yard line, Josh Allen sets up shop. Pressure coming, he leaves the pocket. Miles chasing, he fires from the goal line. He's got a man open, it's Diggs, and I'm not sure how the Browns let him get that open. 45-yard strike and a first down for the Bills with 90 seconds to go in the half. Thought maybe he was going to take off, but yeah, plenty of room to lead his receiver open that time. Josh Allen in a shotgun, 1:10 to go. Back to pass, quick little angle or a square out to the left side to Gabe Davis, and I think he's tackled in bounds. Of course, Gabriel Davis, that receiver with those, 4 touchdowns in that game with the Chiefs that unfortunately they still ended up losing. He was completely uncoverable that day, and part of the reason I think that they were happy to be able to move on from Cole Beasley is because of the way that Gabriel Davis has developed for them. Screen to the left side, and he throws it too quick. Incomplete, 3rd and 4. Allen again moving. Miles gets around, chasing again, dumps it off short, tackled very quickly. Browns should call timeout here. Maybe, or not. Content to take the ball in the second half. Bills will let this one run all the way down before punting it. Ryan Wright, a rookie punter out of Tulane. Wright foots this thing out at the bounds about the 6-yard line. Nice punt there for the rookie. And you would presume that the Browns will just take a knee since they chose not to stop the clock. Or go 3 receivers.
Probably hand it off here, I'd imagine.
Yes, I would assume so as well. Here's Chubb up the middle, breaking tackles, spinning again. He's going to have a nice little gain, and that will get us to the half. 10-7. A little bit of a defensive struggle here, and a couple of big plays intermixed in. Of course, the pick by Delpit setting up the Nick Chubb touchdown, and then the 4th down conversion that led to a touchdown for the Bills as well.
So, Earl, I think Indy was one of those ready-made rosters that really just needed a quarterback. They obviously, the Wentz experiment did not go so well in that regard because they had the roster then as well. But Wentz was not the answer. But Matt Ryan is a very established and consistent performer. He's a little bit older, but he's still very, very good, and he's seasoned. Wow, what a play from Chubb there. But he's definitely got the experience. I think that team is well suited to do very well now. But then again, is he going to be enough with the way the arms race is going on in the AFC? Is that roster going to be enough? I don't know. I don't know that they even make the playoffs, even with Matt Ryan. Although he is a very good quarterback, and that is a ready-made roster, so they could be very dangerous too.
Somebody's going to have to win the South. Jags are better, but I don't see them pushing it. Texans are still brutal, so it's the Titans and the Colts. Somebody's going to get in because of that division. So 2nd and 10. Pressure coming from Von Miller. It's thrown. It's lofted left side and dropped and knocked out of his hands. The rookie Petrie knocks it out of Peoples-Jones's hands. 3rd and 10.
That's a second that looked just like a play earlier.
He's going to heave a deep one from the 30-yard line. This goes into the end zone. Pickens, and he can't bring it in. He was open, too.
He was. He had the step and just left slightly short by Watson. Pickens kind of had to, over the shoulder or try to behind him catch it, or catch it from behind him.
Catch.
But still got to come away with that. He had that, and disappointing to see that drop.
Rookie George Pickens got him in the 3rd round, which if you can get him in the 2nd or the 3rd round, I think that's definitely a player the Browns will look at. Just can't bring it in. That was a rocket shot. What was that, from about the 32, 33-yard line, and then went 3 yards deep into the end zone?
Yeah, no, he
Typical
certainly
70-yard throw.
Yeah, he definitely, threw or put everything he had behind that one. You saw it, so it was a massive throw, but unfortunately just a yard or two short of where he really needed it for it to be in stride.
Here comes pressure from Winovich. Allen feels it and throws a rocket shot out of bounds. That's the 99 arm power right there.
Yep.
3rd and 8 now. Can the Browns get off of the field? Shotgun for Allen. He's back to pass. They're setting up a screen to the right side. Doink off of Miles's helmet. And the Browns will stop the Bills.
Yes, Savage, all of the teams that we were playing, not the order, but the teams that we were playing are accurate.
And the home away.
Yeah, the home away piece is accurate as well. So we have all the teams on the schedule in our sim season here. Yes, the Browns will be playing the Bills this year. This is going to be it's going to be a crazy game.
Just
a crazy game.
Bills Mafia meets the Muni lot.
Yeah,
could be pretty wild. Kareem Hunt up the middle, give him 3. He's struggled to kind of get going a little bit here. 6 carries now, just 11 yards.
It's really both sides too. I was real quick back to that last comment, but really both sides too. It's both very rabid fan bases and both absolutely stacked rosters.
Yes. Nice little boot action to Peoples-Jones for a first down. Watson just 9 of 17 for 78 yards. Both offenses kind of struggling to get going. Here's a pitch to the right side. Stanton leads. He picks off Edmonds. A stiff arm from Chubb, and he'll get pushed out of bounds.
Yeah, when in
7 yards.
When in doubt, give it to that man. He is such a stalwart in this offense, and he isn't. I mean, obviously he's been locked down. He isn't going anywhere, and you expect that from him for years to come.
Watson goes deep again. End zone. Pickens, and he drops it again. Oh.
It's like his 3rd drop in the end zone.
I know. 3rd and 3. Turn around, Chubb. Oh, sweet cut to the open grass. 25, 30. Rather 35, and then the 30, because they're into the plus territory now. First down run from Nick Chubb. Great carry.
Yeah, that bend was beautiful. He saw that cutback lane open up, just kind of parted for him there in that spot. We're going to see a really good angle of it. You can see the blocking. The blocking was right there, and his vision was beautiful to be able to recognize that bend, come back to the cutback, and took advantage.
Indeed, he's going to shove somebody in the face again. He'll fight for a yard. 2nd and 9 for Nick Chubb. And the offense, a little better drive here, and it's because they've been running the football for sure. Turn around, play action again. Watson. Bail out, throw left side to Stanton, the fullback. He'll catch it and gain another singular yard. Now Watson 10 of 19 for 82 yards.
Now,
Let's see if the Browns
go ahead.
Can try something here.
Yeah, Earl, I was going to say, I think you're absolutely 100% on point with that comment. As Pickens...
he caught this one, but his feet were not in bounds.
Oh, no. Come on! How many touchdowns is that now, Pickens?
That was a great catch.
That was a great catch. Yeah, got to get the feet in. But no, Earl, you got that nailed. That's exactly who's probably going to benefit the most from the Watson trade is Nick Chubb, because suddenly with Watson on the roster, defenses can't afford to stack the box with 9 players anymore, which is what all they did against the Browns last year, because they knew that's all the Browns were going to be, able to do on offense, and Chubb was still getting over 4.5 yards a carry in spite of 9 players in the box. So now open that box up. We're gonna put 6 in there, 7 in there, at the most, and because you're gonna have to have defenders on the back end, which means the lanes are gonna open wide open for Nick Chubb, and he's gonna have a banner year, I think.
Absolutely. Here's a roll to the left for Allen. 15-20. He's gonna just tuck it. Where are the Browns? 40, 45, up to the 50, and he'll slide down at the 47.
And you can't be doing that, JJ.
Nobody over there.
Don't shove him after he's already down. That is asking for a flag.
That's right. Welcome in, Jason. Cameron Dicker, the rookie out of Texas, George, is our kicker. And
Dicker the kicker.
That. Dicker the kicker, exactly. Following in the Phil Dawson, Justin Tucker, Texas kicking legacy, we hope. But I would say the other thing I think people are quick to point out, it's like, yeah, he led the league in passing in 2020, but they were 4-12. It's like, well, yeah, but he had like the worst offensive line. Like, think about him looking at our offensive line and our running game and like, yeah, I'm happy about, like, it's going to be the best running backs and O-line he's had. Like, even when he was at Clemson, like, proportionally speaking, they weren't as dominant as the Browns running in offensive line.
Yeah, no, this for sure will be the best line he has ever played with, and that is going to be a huge boon to him.
Allen thought maybe he was across the line, incomplete regardless. All right, 10-10. Come on, Browns. Let's get something going. Let's see some fireworks here. The offense has been pretty stagnant.
Yeah, there's actually, Jason, there's a lot of folks that have Washington as a sleeper team this year that think that they're going to be really surprisingly good. Obviously, they were very injured, especially on that D-line, but they're still very stacked there. You know, some people think the Wentz is going to be a good fit there, and you know, if that is true, they've got another one of those kind of ready-made rosters that could be a very good team with the right quarterback in position. So if Wentz is able to be, better than he was in Indy, certainly, or definitely better than he was at the end of his time with the Eagles. But if he can do that, then yeah, a lot of folks think that especially because they're in the NFC, a lot of folks think the Commanders are a sleeper team to be surprisingly good.
Absolutely. Nice first down throw and catch to Amari Cooper. He's had quietly a pretty decent day here on the other end from Deshaun Watson. And yes, Soldier, we had a couple of overtime games earlier in the year, and the one against the Buccaneers, and that was before we knew Tom Brady had come back. It was against Kenny Pickett, the rookie out of Pittsburgh, who was playing quarterback, and we tied them.
Yeah.
That's when we knew. That's when we knew things were headed for a dark place.
That's right.
2nd and 11 for the Browns here. We're under 5 or so to play when this snap will take place. Watson climbs under center. 3 receivers waiting.
Well, I wouldn't put it past Rivera. Rivera is an excellent coach. And if anybody, obviously you would have thought Reich would have had success with him, having been his previous offensive coordinator. Yeah. Obviously, that didn't work out. That 1 year there in Indy kind of fell apart quickly. But I will say that Rivera is a very, very good coach, and if anybody's going to get the best out of Wentz, it might very well be him.
Another deep ball from Watson. Peoples-Jones was wide open, and it just overthrows him. It's like they just traded him or something. Like they're just a click away on every play here.
Yeah. So close.
So close indeed. All right, 10-10. Maybe a little defensive spark here, a little strip sack or another interception. It's only like something to get things going.
It's only like 5 touchdowns to Pickens that we probably should have had.
Well, that one was DPJ, so yeah,
DPJ,
4 plus 1, yeah. 1-1 instead of just 1.
Yeah, you're right.
Out there. 2nd and 9, Allen in a shotgun. He's back to pass. Nice little swim from Miles, but he does get it off quickly to Singletary. And then Ward and Greedy Williams swarm to him, sets up a 3rd and 3 here. Allen, play action, back to pass. They hold up Miles pretty well. Over the middle, he's got Dawson Knox, and a first down to the Bills at the Browns' 35-yard line as we're under 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy on Sports joining you. Appreciate everybody being on.
Yeah, Savage, I think it might be a bit early to call for the overtime just yet with 3 minutes left in the third here, but certainly a lot more of a defensive struggle than I think anyone was really anticipating in this one, especially with as prolific as both of these offenses should be, with these rosters.
Absolutely. Here's a 2nd and 3. Double tight ends to the right side. You can see there's O.J. Howard next to Dawson Knox coming over from those Buccaneers. Nice play by Denzel Ward, kind of holds up the cavalry, and then Taki comes in to finish things off.
With that being said, don't discount either of these defenses, either, because they're both very, very stacked as well. In many regards, these are 2 of the more complete rosters in the NFL right now.
Yeah. Anthony Walker Jr., nice play there. They're going to settle for a punt here, are the Buffalo Bills. So Browns defense continuing to do their job without the big splash plays. Deshaun in the offense, about a minute to go here, third quarter. They are back out onto the field.
Yeah, Earl, I do expect the playbook to be different. I mean, you're going to see some of the same because Watson excels at a lot of those things too that the Browns already are running, but more RPO probably because that's one of the things he's best at. More of some of the quick throws, and then also off the play action. Should expect some of the deeper shots with him, but also the ability to run because he can scramble. So they may have some designed run stuff for him also. So I would expect the Browns to be flexible in their play calling. I think that's one of the things that makes Kevin Stefanski a great coach is that he is adaptable and he's going to to modify based on the talents of the players he has, not just this is my way and we're going to do it my way because I'm in charge kind of thing.
Sure. Here's a big third down. Shotgun look for Deshaun. Here, snaps it to him. They're going to run it, and Von Miller completely manhandles his matchup with Jedrick Wills. And a no gain is the result, and the Browns will punt again. We're getting a good look here at Corey Bojorquez, I'll say that.
Yes, we are. Although I'm still, a bit shocked. I mean, it's bad enough that the O-line was giving up that much pressure in the pass game, which they're very good at. But if there's anything they're better at, it's the run game and the run blocking. Yeah. And to see just the penetration into the backfield on a run blocking down is just like that's not like the Browns O-line at all. They are so very good at run blocking.
1st and 10. Josh Allen with an offset eye. He's going to give it to Singletary up the middle. Oh, sweet diving tackle from Miles. Keeps that gain to 4. It could have been a lot bigger than that. Need some sack action here, Miles. Miles missed 5 weeks earlier in the season, so he's only got like 3 sacks on the season so far. As they dump it right side quickly to Dawson Knox, the tight end, and Delpit sitting right on his tail. 3rd and 3 here for the Bills. Heavy formation for them as well. Reggie Gilliam, their fullback, as well as Knox and Howard in the football game. Turn around to hand the football off. Nice blocking and a hole and a first down. Taki makes the tackle, but the damage is done. Now 20 carries, 39 yards for Devin Singletary, but he's been effective. And yeah, it has been fairly vanilla, hasn't it, Jason? We'll keep tweaking it. I mean, we need to go back to the style. Maybe the multiple zone run scheme or whatever isn't what we should be on anymore. I don't know. We'll keep playing with it. Quickly dump to the right side. Grant Delpit makes the tackle on Dawson Knox. 2nd and 6. Yeah, maybe. Hey, welcome in, Lincoln. I mean, it's definitely one of the many possible combinations that wouldn't surprise you as an AFC Championship game.
That's right.
Maybe being in Cleveland would surprise me if it was the AFC Championship game. Just because I think the North is a little bit tougher than the East, despite what the Dolphins and Jets are trying to do in free agency and obviously trading for people like Tyreek Hill.
I think most would probably rank it AFC West, then AFC North, then AFC East, then AFC South in terms of, how stacked each of those divisions are.
Nice play there by Calais Campbell. Again, still hadn't been signed, so our dreams of signing him are still alive. 2nd and 11. We're under 11 minutes to go already. All this running has kept the game pretty quick. Nice tackle in space again. Taki gets some nice tackles in the run game. 3rd and 8. Browns need to get off the field. Yeah, they do.
Big hit.
Allen back to pass. Pressure coming. Quick little dump across the middle, and Ward makes a tackle in space. Short of the line to gain. Singletary goes down. 4th and 3. Let's see if the Bills go for it.
Raiders versus Bills is what Savage is calling for. I would be surprised to see that one myself. Not to to discount the Raiders, but I think they are the fourth best team in the AFC.
I would say they may be
West.
the worst team in their division.
Yeah, so I'd be surprised if they make the playoffs.
And that's not because of how bad they are. It's just because of how crazy good the rest of the division is.
That's right.
They may just end up kind of beating themselves up. The winner of it's going to be 9-8 kind of a thing.
Yep.
Which doesn't bode well for your other wild card spots. Yeah, they would have to beat them. They got to play all those teams twice. All right, come on, Browns. Let's get something going here. 13-10, you're down. Stretch it to the left side. Kareem Hunt breaks one tackle. He'll pick up a yard. 10 carries, 12 yards for Kareem Hunt. That's not exactly the way you want to draw things up.
I think it's between the Broncos and the Chargers. Personally, not to discount the Chiefs, but they have a little bit more cap trouble, so they've had some difficulty bringing. They've had to make some tough choices. Like we saw a trade of arguably their best wide receiver. So as Hill is now playing for Miami, but I mean it's one of those things where they're still going to be amazing because they have Mahomes, and that's just what Mahomes brings to a team. But then don't just discount the rest of the West there with Wilson coming to Denver, and then the up and coming Herbert's been very, very good for the Chargers, and they've made some very
Very
big moves, which so they're going to be very, very good too. I don't know who wins out.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a hard choice. Yeah,
Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa coming at you from either side.
Right. That's a tall task. So I think there's there's going to be some very stiff competition there in the West, but I don't know between Denver and LA who I like more.
Yes, there will be. All right, Browns converted a nice third down. George Pickens, the rookie, picked up the first down. Then Watson kind of took a sack fumble, and then he fires that one into traffic. And again, difficulties catching the football for both teams here today with these new sliders. We'll have to count the drops.
Yeah, yes, you're not wrong, Savage. But at the same time, like compared to the rest of the AFC West, the arms race that really I think started there, I don't think even that lineup is gonna compete because of who the quarterback is. Just Carr is not going to be at the level of those other three.
No, I would say the last name on your list is the one that's the most concerning to me. When you look at Russell Wilson, Pat Mahomes, Justin Herbert as Derek Carr. So, they went and got him maybe the best receiver in the game. And, their pass rush is going to be great with Crosby and Chandler Jones and, Waller and Jacobs when healthy are top 5 at their position. But, who's the trigger man for that, and how does that all work out?
No, nothing against Derek Carr. He's a very good quarterback, but he is no Pat Mahomes. I mean, and he's doesn't compare favorably to Herbert. That certainly doesn't compare favorably to Wilson either. So, when you're looking at those are the three that he's got to compete with. When as good as his roster around him is. When it comes down to the fact that they all have rosters like that with players that are relatively on a par. I mean, so Adams is going to be better than any of the other receivers out there in the West, but is that really going to make up for the fact that all the rest of the rosters are just as stacked as the Raiders are? But then when it comes down to the position that counts the most, quarterback, you have to tip your hat to the other three and say that the Raiders probably just don't have the edge, because Carr just can't compete with the other three.
Right, and again, I mean that's the beautiful part of the league is on paper it could be one thing, and then all of a sudden things turn out very, very differently. Injuries happen, crazy things happen, and guys you've never heard of turn into superstars, and guys you thought who were going to be great are like not great all of a sudden. We've seen it happen year after year just when you assume something happens.
Yep, and there's nothing to say that Carr doesn't come out and have an all-pro season because of the roster around him, and maybe they make some tweaks with, the playbook that, a little bit more favorable for him. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen, and he could be way better than I'm giving him credit for this season because of a whole bunch of factors that are unpredictable. But I would be surprised, is the way I would say it, if he ends up in the playoffs with those other three teams in his division.
Ooh. Allen with a huge bomb left corner, and Newsome breaks it up. And the Browns will fortunately get off the field. It felt like the Bills were just going to be content to grind that thing into a halt. Yeah, Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa is probably your best pair of edge rushers in the league. I'd have to go through my mental checklist. I'm not sure if it gets much better than that. Although if Clowney resigns, Clowney and Miles certainly pretty high up there as well.
That's not all that Denver got. They've done some more. They've been more active than just Wilson in free agency.
Yeah, Javonte Williams is going to be a stud.
Right.
People love Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy.
Yep.
And Hamler, Tim Patrick. Their defenses, they've got corners for days.
Yeah. Well, I think because that's all they've been drafted for like the last 4 or 5 drafts. Is like the best cornerbacks in the draft. But no, I think they are super stacked. The wide receiver core is not been as productive as most think they should have been. But look at who their quarterback was this whole time. Yeah. So put Wilson to a roster like that, and now that he'll actually have an O line that is good. That's the biggest problem with what he had in Seattle, was that his O line just was terrible.
Yep. Watson's going to turn around, he's going to run, and he's going to get sacked by Devontae Wyatt, rookie defensive tackle out of Georgia. Thought we were going to see our first scramble there. 2nd and 19. We got to get something going here. We're under 3 minutes to play. Very little urgency here. And now the entire left side of the line jumps.
Yeah, Lincoln, I think that they are in very active pursuit of that number 2. Now, I don't discount DPJ as being able to fill that role. I think he can. I think that Watson
fumbled and picked up by Kareem Hunt. He's actually going to get positive yardage out of that one. Von Miller credited with the sack. Browns 3rd and very long.
I don't think that that DPJ, I think DPJ has all the skill set and tools to be a great number 2, and I do believe that Watson is a type player who elevates those around him. So if we can put it all together with DPJ, then I think he could very well fit into that number 2 receiver role nicely for the Browns. But that doesn't mean they won't, look to bring back Jarvis possibly. There are other receiver options out there that they may still be looking to try to pick up in free agency or via trade. But one thing I will say is that as the Browns pick up a nice first down there with Cooper off on the 4th down.
And 5.
Yeah, Cooper just finding a little gap there in the defense. But anyway, so one thing I will say is AB is relentless in his efforts to improve this roster, and that wide receiver position is certainly going to be part of that.
2nd and 10 now for Watson. Browns, probably their last drive of the game. He's going to take off to the extra side. He's just going to throw it away and save the time. This particular time, I will take the throw away. Watson, same thing. Blitz coming. They pick it up. Now it breaks down. Now he's going to fire on the run. Right side. He's got his man. Wow. David Njoku is just sitting there waiting.
Yeah, I'd like to see him come back to the ball, but yeah, still takes the first down.
Watson, end zone. Grant, touchdown.
Wow.
The Browns with 1 minute to go. It was a game-winning and/or tying drive by a Browns quarterback.
I know. This is unusual. What is this?
We're not.
Even Matt is giving us credit. Matt is even giving us credit on this one. What is happening right now?
3 minutes and 39 seconds. It felt sluggish, and then all of a sudden they hit the 2-minute warning. A couple of bigger strikes. How about that 4th and 5 pickup to Amari Cooper?
Yeah, that was huge.
Own 35-yard line. That was massive. And how about the short speedster Jakeem Grant?
Well,
gets to the end zone and bodies the football. Touchdown, Browns.
That's one thing about Grant that you love is, unlike a number of the specialists they've had, the JoJo Natson types that they've had as return specialists, they've been completely absent from the wide receiving core as Myles Garrett picks up a huge sack. What a massive play there. Sorry,
I didn't mean to cut you out. I think Grant is going to be a better receiver, certainly.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he's already proven it. He's already gone out and done that and been active in receiving cores at the NFL level. So that already speaks highly to his ability, and I think that's going to be huge for the Browns.
3rd and 3, chucking it deep into triple coverage, and it's going to be knocked to the ground. Now here's a 4th and 3. Bills have got to convert, just 2 timeouts left. Allen in a shotgun. He's back to pass. Myles with a huge bull rush, but he gets the ball off quickly to his receiver. That's Jamison Crowder coming over in free agency from the Jets. Just his 2nd catch of the day, but it is a first down. Bills still an opportunity. Back to pass. Allen's got a cannon, we know. He unleashes it left side. Corner towards the end zone. He overthrows everybody.
That was just a Hail Mary there. Look how many defenders were standing there. Only like 3 receivers in the area. With about 5 of your defensive secondary in that spot.
Oh, Myles again hits him as he throws! Tipped away! What a play! JJ3 comes flying in. It's a 3rd and 10.
And this defense absolutely stepping up in clutch moments here, just swarming to the ball. Love seeing this defense is playing lights out right now.
Yeah, they are. Here's more pressure coming. Myles with another one. Hits him right in the guts, and he throws it incomplete. Myles is just obliterating the rookie right tackle, Rasheed Walker, out of Penn State right now. Oh, man. They got 1 second left in the game for a Hail Mary. Welcome in, Daniel.
And yeah, absolutely agree. I really hope they can resolve that kicker. They've got to get somebody that can do it in windy conditions, very tricky windy conditions in First Energy. But if they could do that, this special teams roster is going to be stacked.
Allen with more pressure from Garrett, floats it in the middle of the field, and it's knocked away. Ball game. Grant Delpit seals it with a tip down, and the Browns with a 4th quarter comeback and a win, 17-13.
Yeah, what a finish from Myles and this defense. They were just all over the place, just creating crazy pressure, making it so hard for Allen as he was just running for his life back there, throwing up hopes and prayers, and the defense did its job after Deshaun Watson goes down the field on a game-winning drive, which was beautiful to see, and a truly Deshaun Watson moment as he just throws up a beautiful pass for the touchdown to Grant. Gotta love seeing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Josh Allen, you can see his numbers, 263 in the pick, just kind of cycling through these stats here. Singletary with 53 yards in the touchdown. He really, 25 carries for a singular player in Madden is a lot.
It sure is.
So kudos to them. You can see Dawson Knox, the leading receiver. Singletary, 2nd leading receiver. Tremaine Edmonds with 10 tackles led them on defense. The rookie, Devontae Wyatt, right there you can see with 2 sacks. 1 for Ed Oliver, 1 for Von Miller. And Deshaun did not turn the football over. So we'll look quickly at the Browns for their statistics here today. Deshaun Watson, just his 2nd game in the Browns uniform for us. He was 20 of 34 for 228. I'd like to see that completion number, but a lot of those were throwaways or drops. We'll see just how many drops here in a minute. Of course, he did have that 1 touchdown late. Nick Chubb, 16 for 67. If it'll switch here, it will. There we go, 16 for 67. Kareem Hunt, 12 for 19, not his best. They have a 9 broken tackles for Chubb as well. Receiving, Amari Cooper, 7 for 76. He had a really nice day. And 3 just for a couple of other players. And again, let's take a quick look at this column. The Browns are going to be credited with 5 drops. 2 from Peoples-Jones, 1 from Pickens, 1 from Njoku, and 1 from Harrison Bryant. So I can't say that I am a big fan of that part of the sliders, but overall I was happier, I guess, with the gameplay.
Yep.
The way that it went with the new sliders. Again, thanks to Matt 10 for putting those together. Denzel Ward leading tackler today with 11. How about 9 for Williams, 9 for Walker, 7 for Grant Delpit. Sacks today, they were credited with 2. Of course, Josh Allen, pretty slippery back there. 1 for Chase Winovich and 1 for Myles Garrett. And then, of course, the interception in the very, very, very first drive of the game. Grant Delpit got it. Number 22 took it for 22 yards. And that set up the Browns' first touchdown. Kit, anything else to wrap this one up?
No, I mean, I think this game was, a bit slow and very much more of a defensive struggle than we might have expected, but then saved all of its fireworks for the last, minute and a half of regulation. It was absolutely a wild finish there and lots of fun, which, a game between these two rosters is, that's probably something you can expect. Maybe not the defensive struggle to begin as much, but certainly an exciting game.
For sure. For the folks who are interested in the standings here after 8 weeks of football, Browns just went to 5-2-1. Everybody else hasn't played their game yet, just so that you are aware. Titans on top in the South, of course, which, again, not a big surprise at this point. Everybody else struggling pretty hard. Patriots and Jets. And again, that AFC East is kind of just globbed up there in the middle. Bills have played one more game than everybody else. How about in the AFC West? 7-1 for the Chiefs, 7-1 for the Broncos. Now, do keep in mind that I didn't know about the Tyreek Hill trade until one game ago. So 7 of those 8 games for them did have Tyreek Hill on that roster still. So don't hold that part against me. In the NFC North, how about Justin Fields? Somehow with a ragtag group of players, they're 5-2. Rodgers comes back to that Packers roster, and they are just 3-5. Your boys in the South, James, they're right in the thick of things at 4-4. 5-2 are the Saints at the top of that division. Madden loves themselves what the Cowboys have been doing, at least so far here in the offseason. They are 8-0 right now. There's the football team. Again, not the Commanders in the game, but they will be soon, I'm sure. They are 6-1 right there. As well, out in the West, the defending Super Bowl champions lead always a tough NFC West at 5-2. So there's a quick look at those rankings for those who are interested. Cool. We appreciate everybody being on. This was a lot of fun. Again, as we continue to try to tweak it, we'll play with some other things, see if we can maybe try to find a way to cut down on some of those drops and continually find ways to try to get to scramble for once. So appreciate everybody. For Kit out on the left coast, I am Phil here in Central Ohio. Together we are Nagy Sports. Appreciate everybody being here. You guys are the best. Yeah, Nick, not a lot of love for Trey Lance as the starter over there in San Francisco, I'm afraid, because we made Garoppolo move in the offseason. So, all right, today all we got to say is go Browns, because they get the big dub today over the Bills. They go to 5-2-1 in our sim season. Let's get out of here the way you always do by saying,
Go